Hi, my name is Edwin Seiler, and I'll be talking about nature and health. So, what is nature? From the definition on dictionary.com, it's the element of the natural world, as mountains, trees, animals, or rivers. Another definition is the natural world as it existed without human beings or civilization. So, there are many benefits of being outdoors. So, one of these is increased vitality. And what vitality is having a physical and mental energy. There was a study done where they took several groups of people and split them into 5 different studies. But each study consisted of comparing urban and rural environments. From all the results when they got compiled, it showed that being outdoors caused people to feel much better, had that sense of vigor, and a sense of calm energy. Another benefit of being outdoors is that you feel healthier and happier. They had a study where it showed that being in nature actually increased the level of happiness. With this, you gotta think, by having more parks and cities, we'd be more happier. Another study that they did was green exercise. What this study was is they stick people on a treadmill, and while they're running, they'd have different pictures. Some of these pictures were of an urban setting where it was dark and garbage all over the place. And then they had a similar one where it was trees, grass all over the place. And from what this study, they showed that the environments with nature, it caused lower blood pressure, increased self-esteem, and it increased their mood. Another benefit is you recover better. So, with these two pictures, which of one would you rather be in? Would you rather be in the dark, dungy area, or like the bottom one where it's nice, green, and feels inviting? So, for this study, they had several patients who went under gallbladder surgery. And what they found out was patients with more of a natural view outside recovered much better. They spent less time in the hospital, had better evaluations from nurses, and required few painkillers. The people who stayed in the more urban hospitals stayed there much longer and had to increase their intake of painkillers. Another benefit is the removal of mental fatigue. So one of these studies, they compared being in an urban environment and outdoors, and then doing tasks and causing brain fog. So what they showed was people who were outdoors relaxed more and then were able to think much more clearly than their counterparts where they stayed outside. And also thing with nature is contact with animals. As you know, being with pets, you feel much, much better. You feel happy and you love having their companionship. One of the studies showed that physiologically and psychologically, you do better. It decreased blood pressure, heart rate, cholesterol, anxiety, and stress. And like I was saying before, pets provide that protection and that stress relief and that kinship, that companionship that you like. So what now is, as a people, I've been noticing is we've been becoming more of an indoor people. We spend less time outside than we should. So for example, when I was a kid, I'd go out, ride my bike, play outside, play with crayons or chalk all over the ground. But nowadays you see kids indoors playing Call of Duty or messing with their iPads and watching Netflix all the time. There was an article by Miranda Hittey of WebMD, and she reported that Americans spend about 25% less time as they did in nature in 1987. She also said every year about 1% less people spend time outside. So who knows, in 20 years, everybody's going to be stuck inside with a visor instead of running around or riding a bike and having a good time. So what we have to take overall is we got to lessen the amount of technology and actually go outside and enjoy what we have. Another thing I would like to talk about is Nature Space. So what Nature Space is, it's an audio app. It's not like those normal nature apps where you hear the same sound over and over and you can tell it's cut really bad. With this, it gives more of a realistic feel to what's going on. It's recorded specially. So when you actually close your eyes and listen to it, you can actually hear the babbling brooks and the water and just the sounds. They sound so good. So I'd say try that out because you'd really like it. So questions about nature and all this. So do you think as people we're becoming too involved with technology? Do you think that we need to drop our iPhones and go outside for more time? Another thing is, should we become more involved with nature? Should we do more events outside or have classes outside? Would you feel better about that? Another thing that I'd like for you guys to do is go outside, play with your pets, take a walk, or just sit outside and listen to the birds when it's not snowing, or listen to soundscape. So after you do one of these activities, write down how you feel and see if you feel better.